and it's sooner rather than later. When I told you that riots would come in the streets of Europe, does anybody remember me saying this 2 years ago? Did it sound crazy then? Yes. No one was talking about it then. It's happening now. Right now, big government policies have failed all over the globe, and the Band-Aids are running out. They finally had to try to fix the wound. They're going to have to, instead of just patching it and hoping that nobody notices the blood pouring out from the little Dora the Explorer Band-Aid that they've put on. We are sticking these little Dora Band-Aids all over the problem, all over the globe. But it is only a matter of time before angry mobs are shouting their heads off, and they are shouting things like "off with their heads" here in America. It is already happening in Britain. These pictures are astounding. Some of these are just a few blocks away from Parliament. And these aren't just some rowdy students looking to skip class that were acting violently against police. These people actually believe in revolution. They carried out an attack on the car carrying Prince Charles and Camilla last week. Reports are now saying that Camilla actually rolled down the window as they made their way through the crowd, and why they were driven through this crowd is a question I think really needs to be answered. Every single member, if this happened to the President of the United States, every single member of that security team should be fired. A protester reached into the window and, quote, made contact with Camilla. One report said she was poked with a stick, but that is yet to be confirmed. She was on the ground of the limousine. The police say they came within moments of opening fire on the crowd during the attack. If some nut job or some mob tried to smash and reach into the car carrying the President of the United States and Mrs. Obama, I wouldn't feel the least bit of guilt if the Secret Service took them out. Especially if the mob were shouting the things that this mob was shouting. Listen. Off with their heads. This isn't some meaningless phrase over in England or in Europe. Is that just a figure of speech? It's not happened to us here, but it has happened to royals across the ocean. What is it going to take to convince people that if it can happen just a block away from Parliament in the UK, it can happen in Washington, D.C.? Is it really all that far-fetched? All of this was over tuition hikes. Imagine when they hike tuition here, or food stamps, or the free health care over in England is taken away. What happens then? Unfortunately, we are going to find out, because the goal behind all of this is to fundamentally change the structure of power all over the globe. Don't believe me? Watch.
So how are we going to achieve a new global economic order?
As students, as workers, or as global citizens.
We created global trade, we created global finance, we created global companies, but we forgot to create a global government.
A new set of rules for the whole world.
Global governance and global agreements.
So I think you need a new world order.
The burdens of global citizenship continue to bind us together.